guys, welcome to the next section discussion of the lightweight backpacking series. It only makes sense at this point after talking about minimizing gear and what really lightweight backpacking is to now talk about backpacks, because a backpack is really going to be the framework of how you create your lightweight system. Now, the reason I say that is you've got a lot of gear that you've got to put into something. And if you've taken the time to minimize your gear and focus on pulling things out, changing things, and choosing what you want to have in your gear system, if you are carrying a larger pack, let's say an Atmos 65 from Osprey or like a Gregory Zulu, something like that that is in the 60 to 70 liter range, you are going to, by nature, fill that space. It just happens. And so if you look at different pack options that are lower in liter size, liter capacity, like a 48 liter or even close to below a 40 liter like I've got here with this pack, then you're going to be setting yourself up for success because you're going to fill the pack faster. And the only reason that you would really need to carry a greater liter capacity is for a longer trip, and I'm going to be carrying group gear kind of things, or that being a longer trip, I'm carrying more food and I need to carry more water. So with that out of the way, let's talk about different backpack options and what you might look for, because there are a lot of backpacks to choose from. There are framed packs that save you weight in your backpacking system. There are frameless backpacks that definitely save you a bunch of weight. And you've got a lot of different options between those two types of packs that you would be looking at. So let's talk about framed packs first and different options that you might consider in terms of more mainstream companies, then even looking at some of the cottage vendors that offer lightweight backpacks that allow you to accomplish that lightweight system. Now, the first one we'll talk about is a pack that I've carried several times. I've done a lot of miles with this, and we'll talk about it because I personally have experience with it. But this is the Gregory Optic 48. This is offered in a 58 liter as well, and if you need that capacity, that's great. It's still going to achieve a lightweight capacity. Now, before we get into like specs and talking about really nitty-gritty things, keep in mind that you ultimately want to keep your total weight in any of these packs below 35 pounds, ideally below 30 pounds. But 35 is going to be pretty much a maximum for anything that fits into the realm of frameless to these lightweight designed packs that have a frame in them as well. So even with this 58 liter or 48 liter optic, I would not carry more than 35 pounds. I've done it. It's not as comfortable. And the reason being that it's not as comfortable is typically your lighter weight packs are going to have less of a suspension system, less padding on the hip belt, less padding on the shoulder straps. And so your carrying capacity is not going to be as high because you don't have as robust of a system that can carry and handle that load on your back. Now, yes, the load is supposed to be carried by your hips if you've got a hip belt, and just keep in mind that if you're carrying too much weight, that's just not going to be comfortable. So getting a lower liter capacity, minimizing your gear, all of that is going to aid in making sure that the pack that you choose to carry is going to be comfortable while you're carrying it. Another great pack that I'm super jealous of that I would like to pick up for myself because it's probably the lightest frame pack on the market. I don't know that for sure, but the Osprey Levity. This is also a 45 liter pack, so a little bit smaller than the Optic, but 45 liters. This thing comes in at under 2 pounds, but it's also a framed pack, and it's a really, really cool pack. Osprey has an amazing suspension system, but you can see here as well on this hip belt that it's not super robust. It doesn't have a lot of padding. It's not going to handle that heavier load capacity. So this by nature is just going to help you create that mindset to not carry as much gear, therefore achieving a lightweight backpacking system. So with frame packs kind of out of the way, let's talk about some of the other options. There's Z-Packs that makes a great framed pack that is going to be higher in cost, but it's a really great design, and they handle those lightweight systems really well. Super popular from Z-Packs, as well as the Osprey Exos, another great lightweight pack that is going to be a little bit heavier than the Levity, but it'll be a little bit more durable, and it could potentially carry a little bit heavier loads. Now looking at frameless packs, and I've got two different types of frameless packs here. They both happen to be from Waymark Gear. I really enjoy their product, and so I'm going to use them as an example. But I've got a 30-liter pack here that definitely is more of a day pack, but it doesn't have a hip belt on it. And so I'm going to use this as an example compared to my 38-liter through series pack from Waymark. And the biggest thing that you can see here is this doesn't have any kind of frame in it. So if I try to do that with the Osprey or just the framed pack, yes, there's a little bit of like spring tension there, but it's rigid. Now with the frameless pack, it's not rigid. So if you want to add some comfort level to your frameless pack, you're going to use a frame sheet that typically is going to be some kind of pad that will allow you to load the pack in a more comfortable manner. And so frameless packs, they just require more education, more understanding of your system and how you're going to load all of your gear so you don't have things pushing against your back and it carries properly. Now I will say that you're going to want to carry less gear, lighter loads with a frameless pack than you will with a framed pack, just because the frame of a framed pack is going to handle that load and take part of that load for you, where everything on a frameless pack is going to be right on your body. The cool thing about frameless packs is most of them are going to be in a way custom made, or they're from a cottage vendor that is hand making them themselves. And so Waymark Gear, for example, this pack was handmade by the owner, and this one was custom made. I chose everything on this pack that I wanted for me specifically. I cannot do that with this pack. This is still a really cool option, and I would like to get one of these for myself. But that's the fun thing about going into a system like this. If you know that you cannot achieve 30 pounds or less, don't look at a frameless pack. You will not be comfortable, and it will not be a good experience. So usually frameless packs are going to be more stripped down, more simple and basic. And in this case, I do have a hip belt on this pack simply for comfort, to help aid some of that weight that I'm carrying. But for the most part, they're simple. They are going to be a roll top design where I unclip this, roll this up, and then I've got access straight down into the body of the pack, and that is basically all there is. I don't have like a fold over top lid, that kind of thing. And then I've got this big Lycra mesh front pocket. Big side pockets, that kind of thing. And that's pretty standard that you're gonna see from pretty much any frameless pack, whether it's Waymark Gear, Superior Wilderness Designs, Z-Packs, and gosh, Granite Gear, all of those different companies that do have frameless options. That's gonna be kind of your design there. Now the reason I have this pack here is, again, to show you that a lot of times this is getting more into an ultralight type of mindset, but I can pare down my system and really go super minimal and carry a comfortable pack without a hip belt. And it works, and it's super comfortable. And this pack, day hiking with it without the hip belt, it's awesome. I really enjoy it, and I can do an overnight trip in this pack. And it saves weight not having the hip belt on there. You have to change things up a little bit, but choosing a pack like this just takes you into an even more lightweight / ultralight mindset that is really beneficial and can make your experience a lot of fun in the science of trying to pare down your gear even more. So guys, when you are making a decision on a lightweight backpack, keep in mind that in order to really save the most weight possible, you're going to want to find something that is within 3 pounds or less. And all of these options fit that criteria, and I've carried a lot of gear in this Optic and it's been super comfortable. And so if you're not willing to go the frameless route, that's fine. I spent time on the trail this summer with a guy that he had a really lightweight system and just was like, I'm not ready to go the frameless route. I'm just not ready to let go of that comfort of a framed pack. And I totally understand that. And if you are trying to get into the lightweight realm, of backpacking, then I would say ditch your 65, 70 liter pack, get into a 40 to 50 liter pack that's framed. Maybe it's the Levity, maybe it's the Optic, maybe it's the Granite Gear like Crown, or it's Z-Packs, whatever it is that's framed. That's going to be a good way for you to start. I mean, my good friend Jared, for example, went from the Aether 70, and he still uses that pack, but this is his Levity, and it was a great pack for him to reduce nearly 4 pounds off of his backpacking system. So you're going to save a ton of weight initially, just boom, right up front by going from your heavy 65, 70 liter pack down to something like this that's still going to be comfortable and let you carry the gear that you need for your backpacking experience. So guys, I hope that was helpful in understanding and knowing how to choose a backpack for your lightweight backpacking system. If you have questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section. I've got links to all of these different types of options down in the description. Check those out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And as always, I hope you have an awesome day. We'll catch you on the next lightweight backpacking video.